Hello, what's up? What's up, Facebook? Um, I'm going to be uploading to my YouTube page, so they always say like and subscribe. But I guess I'm gonna have to continue to pre-tape first and then put it on because I don't know how to stream live yet. So once I get someone to show me that information, I will be streaming live, people. I'm going to get educated on how to use this computer a lot better so that I can get out there and get my message across. So I'm going to say hi, Facebook, and I'm going to say hi, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm very inspired. I want to thank the people who subscribed to me already, because I was kind of going to give it up because I had low views, and, I had did the Kanika videos kind of when it first started popping off. And so I hadn't quite made a video too much after I made the video about the NFL kneeling and, all of that. And so I kind of had other things to do. And I seen such a low, and I shouldn't have got discouraged so fast, but that was on me. But in the last 3 days, people have been subscribing. So I guess the video is still getting out there because it's still on my channel. And so I'm gonna start picking up my game, because I'm gonna tell you something. Being a voice and using social media, this is really, really, you gotta be dedicated. You gotta be committed. And it's almost like coming up with a sitcom and having material. You got to have material, which right now we have material all the time. So, but I'm just saying, when you committed to being a voice or being on this media, you got to have material. You have to, and I'm getting better on positioning myself on staying focused on what I'm talking about. You have to feed your audience. So, until I learn this computer better, I'm going to say hi, YouTube, and hi, Facebook, because I will be uploading to my channel. And again, I want to thank people for subscribing to me. That means a lot, because it made me get back on here tonight, and it made me continue to know that I have a voice, and I'm going to go ahead and use it. And so I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about the BET Awards yesterday, and I am focusing on the little rap thing that EMINEM did. I'm saying get in where you fit in, because I have people that I watch on YouTube myself, and there's two women right now that I watch, and one is Olivia R., which I like her because she stands for faith and not so much Christianity. She knows, how to speak about God, and I think she's wise. I think she got a little wisdom going on there. I like her flow. And then you have Miss China Fox. Oh my goodness. Now this is a sister that I'm just like, I don't know whether to like or hate her. So I'm in the middle with her. But I think I understand where she's coming from a lot of the time, even though I don't totally agree with the way she handled it. I think because you're not totally black, she thinks people outside of a black race can't have a perspective on black issues. And I just think that that's crazy. So a lot of, I watched her video today about EMINEM, and I laughed because a lot of it, I kind of agree with her. And then some things I just didn't agree with her. I guess I should have wrote some of her little quotes down, but it doesn't matter, because I'm gonna speak my own justice on it and give you my own spiel. But when I heard the EMINEM salute to the president, or protest bash / whatever rap that he, freestyle, I'm gonna tell you, I was proud of EMINEM. I was proud of him. He didn't have to do it, being white. For one, he's not singled out. It's not him being called son of a bitch. It's not him being singled out in a racial profile against. So he didn't have to jump into our situation at all. You know, being a rapper, you could have held on tight and just, you know, how you can protect yourself and just make your money and worry about you. But I like the way he stood up for us to be heard in a way that we can't be heard, you know, because if you can remember, and maybe you might think this is a little different, when Kanye West said what he said about President Bush, he's been made to be crazy ever since. Now, he didn't want a different direction, but, you know, he was bashed for it. And, you know, Eminem is praised for it. So it just kind of lets you know that, you know, this is why I had a problem with China Fox. Now, if you don't know who China Fox is, I would suggest you visit her channel, but I think that's an angry sister. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of, I'm just going to inform you. The sister is angry, and she says things that sound good, but, you know, you got to be careful of that anger that come out somebody only because it diffuses you to be racist. And it's okay to have, views about things, but it's never okay to take certain things out of context, you know. So you just have to be kind of careful with what you listen to and how, you know, what I mean by that, because she was going off today. She was just, you know, basically cussing like, we keep calling Eminem number one and he ain't number one. And I'm going to agree with that. You know, a lot of people put Eminem in the top 5 ranking or number 1 ranking of being the most talented rapper. And I totally disagree with that, because let me tell y'all why. I just feel like this. And this is my take on her. Hers was like, you know, he's mediocre. He's not saying anything that we haven't said. And it's true for last night. He's not, it really didn't rhyme. And he's not saying anything that we didn't say. But the only reason why I'm going to give him props is because he said it, it benefited us, and he didn't have to put himself in the playground. Okay, but why he's not number one and never been number one to me is because I feel like if a black dude would have came up with, hi, my name is Slim Shady, you know, we would have booed him. He would have been out of there. We wouldn't have bought that crap. Just after that, you know, he had 1 or 2 when he had the little duo with Rihanna. I like that one. But I'm going to say this. That was, he started out, it was corny. And we as black people, I don't know what we gravitated to it that made it so number one to us, because, you know, I can give more respect to Power Wall or Machine Gun Kelly for that or Iggy, you know, because I felt like they had more of a beat or what we listened to. That wasn't even something you could dance to from Eminem back then. And even now, he's never had any type of something you could put in your car and the bass beat. You feel me? And, you know, I could give homage to the 3 names I just called, Power Wall, Iggy, and Machine Gun Kelly, if I want to get, and they're all white. But I'm just saying, you know, they have more of an up-tempo, what we listen to, than, you know, Eminem. And so I've never thought that Eminem, lyrically, he's talented. And I'm not going to take some of his degree of talent away, but to be number one, then we have to look at what he's rapping. I've always felt like he was a rapping Charles Manson. We get angry at our black brothers for talking about hoes, bitches, and, you know, just killing one another. But this man was talking about killing 2 most powerful people in a man's life, and that's his mama and his baby mama. You know, he was talking about burying them 6 feet under, this and that. So to me, he was always, his message was like Marilyn Manson. Charles Manson, like Helter Skelter Charles, the one in prison that, you know, that's the kind of mentality I got from Eminem, like a little crazy dude who had way too much on his mind. And something China Fox researched and got a hold of was the fact that back in '83 or somewhere in that range, he made a pre-rap which he was talking about black women and talking about don't date them because they just want you for your money and whoop-de-whoop, blase, blase. And so I found that to be, kind of disturbing. Now, if you don't see them try to go for a sister, Lisa Machine, Kelly, and Paul Wall date black women. I'm not making this a black and white issue, so let me get off that. But I'm just saying, to support my theory of why I do not give EMINEM all the props that sometimes we as black people do. I felt like that title could go to some of us because there, again, we go giving people who've borrowed our talent the praise. And I just think, please, come on, y'all. Okay, so, but I am going to tip my hat off to him for the bravery. He took a stand yesterday. And let me tell you why. This is why China Fox, I don't know if you'll ever see this particular cast, but I'm going to say this is why we have to be careful of the hate we dish out, because I feel it's very important when you are in a type of war or a type of disagreement or something of that nature. We need to then understand who is for us and who's against us. Yes, we know that white people can be some sneaky creatures on the earth, and they can do things that sometimes you can't trust your enemy. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be wise when you deal with your enemy and any other person on this earth. And you want to make relations. So you have to understand when people is on your side, and don't just bash them because they're not black. So how can they speak on a black experience? That's the part I feel, Sister China Fox, you need to get rid of. And I just, you just need to put the brakes on handling the situation in that way. Now, I know where you're coming from. Why trust the enemy? Why trust the white men? They don't care nothing about us. But if you have someone trying to live our experience and trying, I should have looked this lady up and I should have wrote her name down. But if I describe her to you, I believe you'll know who I'm talking about. She's a white woman she's a professor. She's been on Oprah. She's been on some other shows, and she's done a lot of studies on our black experience. Saying that is, do we cast stones at the lady for being honest when she knows about racism and that's her specialty, when she's teaching about the racism in this country and how it would be abolished if the truth of history was given to people the way it should have been, the way history was, and who played what in what time frame? If they would tell people, if the white men would really preach that Jesus was black and that he come from an origin, because we can say, oh, Jesus wasn't black, but it shows that David and Solomon and all of them are the ancestors, fathers and forefathers of Jesus, and they were black. Solomon, if you read that Bible, go get an Old Testament before they start doing those new revived testaments. You will see that even Solomon says, I am black with dreads. Now it just says I'm dark, and his family was mad at him being so dark. But in the Older Testament, it says, I am black with dreads. We know only black people have dreads. Now, white people get it today for fun or for whatever fashion statement they're going for, but that's not they're adopting what belongs to us as a culture. If you look in the Bible, Noah was albino, and it just, and I'm not saying white people can't be albinos, but his children came out black. So that tells you originally. What else did I want to touch on as far as, when we're talking about dealing with color, we got to be careful, and we have to embrace people that are for us, because just check this out. Harriet Tubman, let's just use her for example. Harriet Tubman she couldn't have freed so many or helped so many people get to freedom if she didn't have the help of white people. If she didn't have the help of other races, period. If she didn't have help besides people of our race, because back in them days, people of our race couldn't really do much of nothing. They had to sneak to do anything because they were bought by a price. They had masters. They could be killed for anything. So it was going to take people that, were white but was on our side in order and seen it God's way or our way, whichever way they seen it, in order to help us. So that's where China Fox, I think that you have to slow your roll and know, let people get in where they fit in, and then learn how to appreciate relations, because you need people. We need each other. And if people are going to fight for us, that's the opposite color, who can really, really get their say out there, then we need to embrace them and treat them with respect. And if you need to keep your one eye open on them, okay, do so, but be wise on how to befriend people and let them work for us, because we're a small majority here in America. Black people are like 13% of the population. That means Mexicans that outweigh us a huge majority, and then you have white people are the main majority. But you have the Mexican Latino race that is almost by pack catching up with the white race. You almost about to have a situation right there. We don't make up the population enough not to have help. And now that we're in a situation where Trump is making it very clear that Mexicans, you niggas, Puerto Rican, Latinos, y'all niggas, and all you Pakistan, Afghanistan, Middle Eastern, y'all niggas, y'all have to understand, you are in the same category as us, if not worse. And so therefore, sometimes we may have to come together and be each other's aid. And that's why I say, China Fox, we have to allow people in that are helping the cause. So you arguing with Rubia Garcia and all of that stuff I've seen on the YouTube and Facebook, it's just, don't beat people down for not being black and having a true blue-black experience, because, sister, you don't look that black yourself. That's the first thing I want to say. But second of all, I can appreciate where you're coming from sometimes. I think your militant attitude is warranted at times, because certain messages, you are being truthful, it is real, but it's out of order. And and I just gave a clear example of, we need each other, and sometimes when people are on our side, we need to embrace that, and everything else we just need to let it go, because it's not just don't beat people down that's trying to help. That's all I'm gonna say, because you get lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? I just think all this anger and push and drive can be done in a better way. And that's to China Fox. Olivia R., I really do like you. Now, you remind me of myself. We both talk about the Lord and how much we love him. But the only thing I've been saying I'm fixing this year is, I seen you cuss China Fox out the other morning, and she caught you, and not being perfect, that's me sometimes. And I don't like cussing people out. I don't like going to that level and then getting on here talking about Christ Jesus. So those are some things I know that I have to fix in my life, because when you lead by example, you truly got to be an example. And now I'm talking about me. I'm not so much talking about you, because I love your message. I think that we need more people with wisdom to know God is bigger than the cuss word. And, we don't have to live in condemnation, and you spread the word. I love it. And you break it down. So I think you're a very sensible person. But I just wanted to talk about Eminem. I thought I tipped my hat off to him. I was proud of him. And so anybody who got something negative to say, I'm just going to hold off, and I'm going to let us celebrate the moment and see what response we'll get from the president, because I felt like President Trump, let me tell you what he's trying to do. He's just, not only is he trying to diffuse and keep the focus off what's really going on, he's doing what he usually do. He's being a robber. He's doing things with tax money, living a lifestyle still with money of hard-earned and people are not even focusing on that because they're so uptight about this kneeling to the flag. White people, y'all know what it is. Y'all know that we're standing up for right. You just trying to do what you always do when you're being racist and hard-headed, and somewhere it's going to pay you back for it, but you ignore the truth. And that's the sad part about you. You choose to do it the devil's way. You think to hurt them is they ignore what they're saying, and really that's going to catch up with you. I'm telling you, because we're all here together. So one way or another, what I go through is going to rub off on you. I mean, you're going to have to, because 9 times out of 10, people forget they have children, and what you hate will come to haunt you. I know that for a fact. Your daughter, you got daughters, they'll end up with a black man, come home with some mixed children, and if that ain't happening more than not, I live in a city where half, I won't say half, but it's really turning into half. It's so many mixtures here, and mainly black and white. There are so many mixed children in this city where I live, and you're talking about a bunch of beautiful girls walking everywhere, like for no reason, they're just pretty. But that's what you'll result to, and so don't let your hate overwhelm you, because you'll have to experience things you ain't ready for. And I think white people, you're just letting your true colors of hate come out. This presidency is not going the way y'all planned it either, but you won't pay attention to the facts, and you're going to end up being so blinded with the mess that you're not paying attention to this career war if we have to face it. Then everybody, did y'all not see what happened in Texas when Houston had the first hurricane of Harvey? Do you think any of those people was worried about you're black, I'm white? And no, people lost their homes and you didn't know who had what had who. You know what I'm saying? They could say they had a beautiful house, but it was flooded 6 feet under. I mean, come on. It didn't make a difference. I guarantee Puerto Rico is not worried about a lot of things that, they probably held on each other, because they got the nerve to not even know y'all all black. I think you got the nigga wake up call now, and that's the sad part. You really got it in the worst way, the worst timing, to figure out that you are considered black niggas. And I hate to be using that word so loosely, but that's the way they really want to describe. They want to say nigger, but we say niggas, and that's not the same. It's a word of embrace. But you found out in a harsh type of way that that's who you are, and that's how they view you, with all of you, with your brown skin, all the way to kind of light skin. But Puerto Rico, you still viewed as that, and now you know. And so when you recover, because I really feel like you can recover, there are people that are still supporting you. I am proud of Jay-Z. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that even TD Jakes, they have contributed in some type of way. And so Jennifer Lopez, just different people who are doing things. And I say, I don't know if any stars will ever see my post. I don't know if anyone will ever see it. But I'm going to say this. Stars, use your money. Don't give it to the Red Cross and them places. you take that stuff yourself, because your money get lost in the sauce and you don't know where that money goes to and whose pocket it really goes through. I can tell you from experience, they don't always help us the way that they should with that money. They'll act like broke and like they don't have enough. But, just like they did some of the people there in Houston, Texas, that, I even posted receipts on my Facebook showing people, our people, Black people, complaining that they weren't getting what they needed as far as funds and food and stuff, that y'all sent y'all $100,000 down there to help us, because that's who you was. I'm not saying that's the only people you were sending it to, but I'm saying that's who you really seen was gonna need that help, because some people have money cushioned, bank account savings, what have you, but at the end of the day, I know you sent your money to help everybody and not just one group. So I know I got off a little bit, but, it all ties together. It's race. It all ties together with love. It all ties together with wisdom. Let me tell you what wisdom has to tie in it, because, again, you have to know when to fight a battle. And I'm just going to say to any China foxes, anybody that has that militant mentality, because I feel it's okay to be guarded. It's okay to use your common sense on stuff. It's okay to be aware of our history and why we come to those thoughts, because trust me, I'm Black. I had to deal with so many issues in my life, but I tell you what, it's never okay to stop help. We cannot do it by ourselves. We can't. There's no way that we can fight this massive fight of racism by ourselves. Anyone who comes along for the Million Man March and walk alongside of us, let them. If they're doing it for the cause, let them. Because there are some doors they can get through that you'll never get through. I don't even know if this show even comes on or if it's going to come on anymore. It was on the WBN. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it, but Underground. I think that's what it was called, Underground. And it was about them running away from their master and gearing towards freedom. Now, all through this movie, they have the help of white people, because in those times, you couldn't just walk freely as free Black people. You had to have papers. You had to know how to read. You had to know things that was out of the norm. It was good to know how to read. A lot of them still didn't know how, but it was better to know how to read. There were things that were beneficial, but one thing about that show, it shows that they had help. And that's the point I want you to get. We are not going to have help by, telling people that because they're not Black, they cannot shed or have truth about our Black experience. Sometimes, like China, you even said it today, it's not hard. Do your research. So if they do their research, and like you said, Rubia Garcia is a teacher in Louisiana. So she gets firsthand dibs on issues. If she got an all-Black class, like I bet she does, she has firsthand experience, face-to-face, on how Black kids, day in, day out, poverty-stricken, how it affects children in her system that come in her face, come in her class. She's getting that experience one-on-one. She gets to talk to some of those young people, something a book can't always tell you about when you have an experience. I like her, Rubia Garcia, because she's very knowledgeable. She does her history a lot. And I feel like anybody who studies or put themselves in that equation, they're doing their job. And if they want to help our experience, let them help. because they see a truth that many white people try to always act like they don't see. And maybe your black face, as light as you are, or as light as I am, or as dark as the next person is, or as long and stringy hair as the next woman is, but got brown skin, we probably will never get that point across. EMINEM got the attention of people, and when he said cross the line in the sand, and if you're on this side or that side, and he basically said, if you can't make a choice, I'll make it for you. That was powerful. You can't knock something like that, because he took a salute. Hey, my fans, follow me. Get to know and embrace what I'm standing for. And if not, kick rocks, because I'm standing on solid rock for justice for our people. And you can't hate him for that. You can't hate him for that. My hair is white right here. What is going on? You can't hate him for that. You got to embrace greatness when it's right there. So I was a little disturbed with you today. I was a little disturbed with you today because, Miss Fox, we got to learn to love the right things when it's the right time. I know that when you listen to Brother Farrakhan and all those kind of people, but they're not fighting every white man. Do you know that? You have to be wise enough to listen to somebody like Farrakhan, because Farrakhan says a lot. And my teacher is not Farrakhan. Mine is the Bible. But Farrakhan is a man that God put on earth, and he can be a teacher. He can say some things that have some truth in it. You got to be wise enough to know how to take certain things from people. What I hear from him we're fighting the enemy, and that's that devil. We're fighting Satan and his tactics. We're fighting demonic forces every day that come upon us. So we can't make this about race. That's getting caught up in too much hate. You got to understand how the devil will sift you and deceive you and have you on a battle and chasing stuff that has no relevance to the real fight. And I think that's what I don't like about you, and where I see you being caught up. You own a fight that can have you caught up in your races. You know what I'm saying? And I don't stand for racism. Now, we all know some white people we hate. We don't hate them personally. We don't like what they stand for, and we ain't going for it, because we do know our history. We do know what we've went through. But again, don't attack people who are standing for your rights. That's when you embrace them. And if you gonna spew all that stuff out your mouth, you go hard, Miss Fox, Miss China Fox. You go really, really hard. And the thing about it is you got to open up and be broader than what you are. Your mentality is shut down in this one-minded, and it's almost narcissist. You know what I'm saying? You're almost single-minded, and it's really anyone who follows you have to be careful, because you're going to come to a dead end with that. For real, you are going to come to a dead end, because we need each other. That's why we all here. This is one big test on how to do things. This ain't about just one race. Sure, black people was the first on the earth, but that's to prove some things to our conditions of today. If the white man would really preach the truth, racism could be abolished maybe. But we haven't gotten there where they can. This is why I don't really watch Bible stories on TV, because they can't even put the right ethnic groups in place to play the parts. Quit making Mary white. Quit making Moses white. Quit making Jesus long hair with blue eyes. Make him as he says he is. Quit. Once they stop doing all of that and put real life ethnicities in these characters, and so that it can really touch the heart, mind, and soul of people for real, and allowing history to really have a truth to it, that's when I think I'll embrace some of these Bible stories. It's hard for me to take them, take it serious. It's just because we might not look at it like one lie embraces another, but how can you ever know if they're giving you the whole truth if they won't even tell the truth about the ethnicities of just the people that's playing the actual people who gave a testimony and gave their lives and lived their lives as the Bible, so, it's like another thing, China. Miss China Fox. Now, me and you kind of agree with this, but I am still, love is where you find it. Because sometimes I think about dating outside of my race. Only because I think that we don't make ourselves available. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I find it hard to date a white man because I feel like, and this is my only reason, and so I might get criticized for this, but if, say I'm in love and I'm with my mate is white and we've been together and we got in an argument, he called me a black bee, yeah, that's going to be the end of the world for one of us, because I just really can't take that because of the history that we went down. And I know that could be small-minded too, but because of our history and because of what we went through and our experiences, if he called me a black bitch, nigga bitch, it's just going to be over. We won't be able to bounce back. It will be none of that. I will not tolerate that. And I know you probably saying, well, I'm sure a black man called you one. Yeah, but it's different. And I'm not saying it was right when he did it, but I'm just saying I could tolerate it more because it was coming from anger. That coming from a white man would be strictly hate, and it would be how long it has, you know what I'm saying? To me, it would be a hate, but it would be a different type of hate. Like it is connected to slavery hate. And so I would not lower myself. No, I would not be throwing my pearls to the swine. I couldn't. Not at all. So I just, I really couldn't. So I was about to start talking about dating because, y'all, we have to be careful. I really worry about our brothers. I don't think that they see the bigger picture, and I think that they put a lot of static on us as sisters, and they don't allow themselves to embrace us and embrace the Black beauty and the richness of having a foundation of your own ethnic, staying within your own ethnic group. I think Kanye, he is the best example I could give right now, but I still think you have to watch out for racism. So you better hear what I'm saying and kind of pay attention. And I hope you don't just get racism out of this, but I'm going to explain it like this. Because, I am for Black businesses. I'm for stuff like that. But the reason why I can't always support a Black business is it's gotten hot in here, is customer service. A Black business customer service skill stinks. Like 9 times out of 10, it just stinks. You go in chicken places and they feel like because we the hottest chicken in town, kiss our feet, something can go wrong with the order. They like, oh, sorry, like they so broke they can't do right by you. And it just, like, I remember one time back in the day, there's not too many record shops anymore, but I am cheap. And so for me to buy a CD, girl, back in the day, I am doing too much. So I went in to buy like 2 CDs. And so the chick was on the phone. So, I done finished shopping and I done walked up to the counter and she's still on the phone, y'all. She, girl. And so she's sitting there for like 2-3 minutes, but let's say about 30 seconds, and she's just ignoring me. She's still on the phone, and so I'm like, and so she looked over, oh, you ready? And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. So you would think she would go, hold on, let me bring up my customer. No, that ain't what she did. She just was like, kept talking, came up on the phone like this, ringing me up. Like, girl, not greeting me, but still talking to the person on the phone. I'm like, Okay. At least you can make up for being rude by getting off the call and then giving me some small talk, like maybe your hair is pretty, a compliment or something, to kind of ease up the fact that you made me wait 30 seconds while you're just sitting there on the phone, and then you still on the phone, like, no customer service, no real eye contact. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, and just not, I can really go on and on, but I'm just going to use that because it's some back in the day stuff. So sometimes we want to be pro-Black, but there's things that make you say, you know what? I'll give somebody my service when it's good service. You understand? Black ain't got nothing to do with it. Kanye. So I just feel like, the reason why I brought that up, because I feel like Kanye and his mom was really pro-Black about a lot of things. And that's when he had his mama, he had his strength. His ideas was there. His support was there. His comfort was still there. And, he was going through different levels of success because he had, what I'm about to say, that Black woman to embrace him, to give him that knowledge, to dispute him, to help him, to pick him up when he fell, to keep him encouraged. All those wonderful aspects about us that we do bring to the table. Now, I could talk about Tommy Sotomayor because that brother, he loves to put us down to the ground, don't he? And snatch away the great things and qualities about us and talk about things that, that are in our community, but there are reasons why those things are in place of Black women and why Black women's behavior behavior works out the way that it does. And it don't make us look good. It doesn't make a Black, but he has to go with education, the resources that we've had to survive on and endure in our community. And from that, Tommy just be going hard because I hate to say this, and everybody says it, but this is just, to me, Tommy, you definitely have issues of never being loved, or you feel you must have been used by every woman that ever came in your life that was Black. But see, what you don't understand, and you understand that you just doing what white people do. You took on that, I forgot what it's called, and I'm gonna get that name. It's the name where you erase the fact of receiving knowledge, truth, because you always talk about, I had a white woman, a stripper, or I had a white woman and she was this, and somehow they're low budget white women, but you still give them praise that they never asked you for a dime. And it just sounds like you sleep with anything that'll sleep with you, and you give yourself away, Tommy. So Tommy Sotomayor, me and you will have a talk one day. Back to Kanye West. Sorry about that detour. But Kanye West, he lost he lost his backbone when he lost his mother, and he wasn't really dating anyone back then. He was doing his thing in the music industry, wasn't he? He was, to me, number one back then. I mean, sorry, I love Vice. Kanye was up on game, wasn't he? Not only was he producing great beats, music, and him and Jay-Z was a great item. But when his mama died, he unraveled, didn't he? He unraveled, and he just, it just seemed like no one was around him to dispute that knowledge that you need, that understanding, that connection that you need when you are a militant, strong Black person. And sorry. Kanye wasn't a real militant person, but I got a strong sense from him that he was a lot pro-Black. And so as he continued this journey without his mama, without somebody being in his corner and talking to him, obviously the way that she could, there was no one there to do that. So this boy would start unraveling and getting with You know what I'm about to say, right? Getting with these white women who really can't understand the black experience. Now, this is when I think dating outside your race hurts you. When you have someone who can't understand your struggle. And then, you know, white people have a strong presence. Have you ever been around them and you just start talking white too? And, you know, and you start talking like them? Or, you know, my son used to say stuff like this. Mama, why come when you talk to the principal or the teacher, your voice change? I tell them because I want them to hear that I can be articulate and educated. And I don't think that they will hear that with my pure black voice. I don't know why I thought that. But, you know, I used to see my mama and my grandma do it. So that's really where I got it from. But it's still a true connection. You want to be accepted and listened to instead of them hearing your pure black voice and feeling like you ignorant or taking you for granted for being idiotic. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so you got Kanye with Amber Rose and all these different, but he really shook when he got with this Kim Kardashian. And I just feel like you want a beautiful woman, but you have one who doesn't understand your struggle. And the number one reason why I say you brothers got to watch what you are gearing toward, because one, everything about Kim Kardashian is a lie. And I say that with the utmost respect. I'm not trying to dog the Kardashians that throw, you know, stones in her name, but I just feel like everything about them is a lie. From you know, how they got famous. You know, you getting famous off of basically having a sex tape. So that's not real success. That's just, you know, the evil of the world and the acceptance of right is wrong and wrong is right these days. That's what that is. And then you have the fact that, you know, she's got her booty done and certain, you know, things on her body, and she can't be honest about the stuff she's got worked on. And, you know, if you've ever looked at some of her day one videos, that sister Chloe, if y'all go back to season 1 of the Kardashians, when it first started, Chloe and her other sister was laughing at Kim for dating black guys. Yes. And they were like, Chloe was the main one talking about how she couldn't do it. Now that's all she did, right? And she got her booty done. So I just think that when you dealing with people that don't keep it real, even with their whole journey is a facade of something that has been made to gain and make money so it looks successful, but it's really not. It's just like the Catch Me Outside little girl. Catch me outside. You know, this little girl has gotten rich and famous off of acting in a certain behavior that is so negative, but this little girl is making coins. I'm sitting here in my apartment. She got her a full-fledged house that she done bought her mama probably off of a phrase that she got from us, right? And the crazy thing is she's making money off of that negativity, and that's the same thing I'm talking about the Kardashians. They have made money off of their negativity and their perversion, and that's the lie. It is. That's the lie, you know, to make you think being raunchy, ratchet, and just all over the place can give you a success. That it can, but at what cost are you selling yourself to? Okay, I hope you understood that. And Kanye, to me, got caught up, lost in the sauce, and unfortunately, Kanye ain't got nobody. Before he met Kim and, you know, lost his mama, he didn't need therapy. He was fine. But soon as that mama died, and he had no real backbone, nobody to really, you know, tell him a truth and bring him back to earth and to a reality with truth. Unfortunately, the brother is lost in the sauce. And when they showed a picture of him looking like he was on, you know, those schizophrenia drugs, and they'll make you start looking like you oversized fifth grader, won't they? High water pants, just stuff. Walking, you have a whole different look. You have and I'm not making light of this, but you have a slight retardation look. That's what Kanye looked like. He done got fat. He's not the Kanye that started out with so many hopes and dreams, with a living legacy that could have went on and on, because the brother had talent and he made beats. Whenever you make beats, you have an imagination in your head that never stops working. But right now, he went in such a transition from that mother's death, he's never bounced back and recovered. And everything he attached himself to, as far as a woman, could never help them the way a black one would have been able to. And I'm not talking about any black one, because you got some ditzy ones out here that's on that's what's up, that's not on anything real. And when I say anything real, anything of richness of our history, richness of God, richness of culture, richness of knowledge, and knowing how to have empathy and compassion, and really understanding with wisdom and knowledge, and able to carry it out in a mother attribute. Girl, he was done. And without finding a well-rounded woman with all of that going on, and able to lay down and pillow talk you with some understanding and with some support, he was done. He was done. There was no, you know what I'm saying? There was no bounce back for him. And that's why my subject is get in where you fit in. You have to put things in perspective, especially when it comes to race. I'm not saying you can't date outside your race, because love is where you find it. But you have to find someone who understands. And a lot of times you brothers get with these black girls. You brothers get with these white women. That's exactly what I mean to say. And they drag you because they don't understand your experience. They can use the white card anytime they feel like it. They don't have to embrace the fact that you are a black man and your struggle. If they get mad at you, they can really give you a number. I know this from experience. They can really change your life around, put you in jail for 50 years, half 100, double life, all behind. You men, y'all do need to have some understanding, and you need to embrace knowledge and quit putting a woman down for not having certain attributes or certain characteristics that, you feel we should have. You got to get to know a woman. And if you have to go through, like a Cinderella story, go through the village of women before you get that right one, sometimes you have to do your homework, because every woman can be crazy. We could sit and say white women are women, period, can be that. You can have some overly perverted black women, because I used to talk that white women are perverted and they nasty and they hoes and they'll sleep with your daddy, but so will black women, so will a Latino woman, so will a Pakistan chick. It just depends on who they are. You feel me? So I don't want to get caught up in just bashing white people for being white. I feel like you judge a person individually for what their characteristics show you, and you take it from there, because Kim Kardashian ain't white, and look what she brought to the table. And every man that those Kardashian women have put their hands on, they have somehow affected them men to the point of almost destruction. And so I just think you have to be careful what you bind yourself to. And you have to know, can they carry you as a black man and really understand your experience and consoling? And that's, I hate to have turned it into this, but, I wanted to touch on that, because I feel like when it comes to making racial decisions, you have to really be wise, and you have to, even though it sounds racist and radical, you have to understand the history of it, and you have to understand what makes sense in that equation, and why this truth is a truth, and you have to take it, not for granted, but take it into consideration and then make a good conscious decision. You not wanting to date a black sister or a black woman, that just, it's a preference sometimes of who we like and what we don't like, but sometimes it's just ignorance of why you say, you're black, but you can't date a black woman. You know, sometimes it's a preference, sometimes it's just ignorance. And bottom line, we should know the difference between the two, but what a black man should know is why he should embrace his sister. And sisters, maybe I'll do this a different day on how we need to pipe down. We are so strong today, and so many things that we can be extra about. We need to learn to put things in perspective too, so our black men can desire us in the right way and not see the outer shell of us all the time as a hard maze experience, not knowing how to figure us out all the time. And so I'm going to get back to get in where you fit in. I'm going to say this. Let's embrace anybody of the opposite race who want to help our fight. And I'm not talking about Black Lives Matter. I'm talking about our fight today of racism, because you best believe our fight is becoming your fight. You best believe. He might be, he started with the Mexicans first. Now he's trickled down to the son of a bitches. And so it's going to be something else next. He's already working on sending, deporting foreigners. So you better get in where you fit in. You better know exactly how to handle this. We better learn how to come together and start talking to each other and not at each other. I feel as different races, we still haven't found the relationship to come together and to be one, and we need to do that. We need to understand we need one another, because Puerto Rico found out in the worst way that you are considered niggas to the president, and therefore, guess what? Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up. The time is now. Stop being against each other and come together. We're going to have to find a solution. If we got to do secret meetings and start inviting each other in a conversation to come together and to work together. Because guess what? If that war ever pops off, this is going to be a different life for all of us, because you might not have lights, gas, water for several days. There will be so many lives lost. And if it's radiation we're dealing with, it's only a matter of time until destruction. We will be a third world country, and it will be no longer comfort. So we either better know God and start praying, and we better come together in some type of way. All you brown-skinned people, whatever ethnicity you are, if you African and think you ain't no nigga and you want to talk that, because they always have a language of their own and trying to see it a mediocre way, you better stop playing with your Kenyan, Nigerian, Sudan self. You better get on board, little Togo, because y'all just as black as we are. And even though you don't want to affiliate yourself with a black American, you don't have to be a black American. Your skin is black. All you Afghanistan, Pakistan, Palestinians, Iranian, all you from that Middle East, if you don't think your black skin can make you black, it does. You are not white. By far, the only ones they've been really embraced as white is the Italians, and guess what? They ain't white either. And so all you people of color, learn to get in where you fit in, and that's coming together. Now, I'm sorry that this post is so long. I see it's going on an hour, so I'm going to cut it short from right there. Remember to like and subscribe. I hope that I'm able to capture I hope I said some things that make sense to people. I'm not trying to be racist, but race is an issue in our country. Race is an issue in this world. And I'm going to leave on this note. Because I want y'all to know something. The devil, and this is going to be my last point, the devil, He loves to lie to you, and he loves to lie to you in numbers because he feel like this. The more people he convinced, it has to be true, right? Got to be some truth to it. If people around this globe hate black skin, if you can go to Brazil, which I don't understand this, but they categorize themselves as black if their hair is kinky, if their skin is too dark. Now you're considered white if you don't have all that going on. You can go to Cuba and Haiti. It's just a line. And if you're this dark, I can be considered white. But if you're this black or this dark, you're considered black, negra. And so you're treated differently. But let me tell you the biggest lie that the devil will try to tell you. Because you always got to remember, when he's lying to you in such a huge way, he's always protecting the truth. He's keeping you from the truth. He's derailing you and keeping your focus off what's true. Because if he told you that Jesus may be black, and when you see him again, that black skin that he's trying to make you hate, and what he's trying to do is make you dethrone yourself so that he can attack you easier. And he makes it easy by going after your black skin, then targeting you with racial profiling. He does all of that as a masquerade to make you believe the hype, to make you believe the lie that black people, I figured this out a long time ago. God gave me a revelation that your black skin connects with him in some major way. That Bible is about you. When he's talking about the slaves, look up who was the slaves and look up who was Egyptian and look who was the Egyptian slaves and what color they were. Don't play with yourself. Don't play with yourself. That's why the devil is making you hate the black skin. And he didn't take it just to America. It's all around the globe. All around the globe, black people are hated. So you better know how valuable you are. And you better know that the devil is trying to strip you, lie to you, and trick you and out of the truth of the matter. And then search the truth and see why he's lying to you, because he knows the Christ that's coming is going to be amazing to people. All those people who hated black people, and they're going to fall. The rock's going to cry out for him, because guess what? It's going to be a shock. He done already pre-told you, my hair is of wool, my skin is of bronze. He's not lying to you who he is. Now, he might not be African-American black, but he's not coming as a white man with blue eyes. He's coming back as a man of God, but of bronze black skin. And so all these people that's being tricked and fooled into being racist, and all you ones that hate your black skin because you've been targeted and you can't live your life, look, step up and understand. Get in where you fit in and learn who you are. That's what all this research can be about. And then don't be angry at white people. Pray for them, because they're going to need your prayers. They're going to need your prayers because they haven't allowed themselves to accept truth, to understand that they're being tricked and fooled too. They're being tricked out of the kingdom with racism, and that's the sad part. Well, I'm going to end this. Again, thank you. Like and subscribe. I hope I didn't go too hard for some of you non-believers or people who don't like the race talk. I hope that you can understand what I'm saying and hopefully find some truth in it. And let's just keep it all together. Let's get in where we fit in, okay? Y'all, God bless and good night. All right.